What our objectives are today is this, is adapting games and activities for students with special needs, okay? Next is the importance of play in a child's life, whether they're in a self-contained classroom, or they're in a general ed classroom, or they're young, or they're old, whatever. I mean, more research is coming out that for us, a lot of us, because we've majored in PE or we work in a PE environment, we get to play all the time. So that's really a benefit, but it's important for all to play, all right? Fun activities to play at school or at recess, because I know some of you guys also are responsible for recess, and that's a big source of conflict a lot of times, because the classroom teachers take probably 15 or 20 minutes some days just to decompress what went on the playground. But if we have activities to be able to keep everyone busy, where there's no bullying, where there's no opportunity to really get off task, then that can reduce some of that behavior. Next is how to play games in large groups. I gave you a poker chip, and because of the limited number of equipment, I will say, hey, red team or blue team, okay? If you didn't get a chip, then you'll get to choose which team you want to be on. But I'll say, red team, come on out, just because of our equipment situation. And then finally is just to be an advocate for play for all children in our schools. Because a lot of times, those kids that are in those self-contained classrooms, they don't get as much interaction with the PE teacher or with play or with movement, just because it's cumbersome, okay? It's hard to get them out of a chair. It's hard to get them out of the classroom, whatever it might be. But if that's the case, then we'll bring play into them. All right, this is how you can contact me. I got a couple of different sources. I got a Pinterest. I think it's on your handout. You can always email me. Our Facebook, one of our after-school programs, we call it Fun and Fit, and that we have a Facebook page for that. So if you want to see some of the things that our students do, and that is the one that we run on campus, okay? So that's our homeschool students there. And then I have a YouTube channel. I have some videos of past years when I was teaching in school. And I also have just stuff that I've collected. Some of the videos that we'll see today are on there, and just go for it, all right? Use whatever you want. These are my daughters. I got two daughters. Coach Chase back here is from Wellman. My daughters attend Wellman ISD. And so this is my 10-year-old and my soon-to-be 15-year-old, a freshman and a 5th grader. And then there's Leo, the lion dog, or leopard dog. So, and yes, they're starting their 5th year. So, yeah, they live in between Loop and Wellman. So, yeah. Anyway, you're in Texas if, okay? You can use the word fixing in the past 12 months, all right? For some of us in the last 12 minutes, right? Next, you've used a football schedule, or you've known someone who used a football schedule to plan a wedding. Next, you can properly pronounce Chillicothe, Kittaquay, and Quanah, especially for those of us in the Panhandle. You think people who complain about wind in their states are wimps, all right? You've owned at least one belt buckle bigger than the size of your fist. And then finally, you're in Texas if a tornado warning is your signal to go out in the yard and look. Isn't that true? All right. So Maria Montessori says this about play. Play is the work of a child. And that's so true. I mean, they're going to move. You think about it, when our preschool kids, they have all those little manipulatives, okay? They have the counting bears, and they have all the little blocks that they're playing with all the time. And that interaction going from gross to fine motor not only helps them become more proficient like that, but it helps their academics. I mean, there's a school of philosophy right now that says if the child is not physically ready, okay? If a child is not physically ready, then the academics cannot happen either. So the cognitive is impacted by that. I know some of your outline is different than what I have over here, and I can send that to you later. I just kind of got on a roll and started adding stuff. So play activities are essential for health and development of children and adolescents, okay? Most of us know that. 75% of the brain is developed after birth, okay? So all the experiences that a child has, that they are engaged in different activities that stimulate that, bring about new growth, okay? Like we talked about the bags back there. That helps with just attention. Also, Dr. Dennison says that it helps get students ready for different academic needs like language arts, just being able to juggle a bag, okay? The process influences all sorts of things. We go from gross motor to language to socialization. And for our students with special needs especially, I mean, you think about all the activities that we do, all right, just to be able to juggle a bag. Some of our students have a lot of spasticity in their limbs and are unable to do that. But if they're able to toss a bag and just snag it with the finger, or be able to snag it and an aide or a teacher grabs it and puts it back in their hands, that allows them to track, and that works on other things as well. Also, creativity. When you see kids kind of bending the rules, or what we call cheating sometimes, that's really just another form of higher order thinking. And you're saying, well, I got some smart kids in my class, all right? So, because kids do that, they always want to know where that line is, and then sometimes they go over. If you're not looking, they're taking advantage of the situation all the time. All right, need for movement. This comes from Joanne Landy, and she wrote several of these kind of books right here. And it's out of this Fundamental Motor Skills book. And that's a great resource. But she says children, if they do not reach a degree of competency by 6th grade, now they don't have to be sports, they don't have to be athletes, but if they don't reach a level of competency by 6th grade, their chances of participating in regular physical education or physical activity as an adult diminishes. Okay, so that's something that we need to be aware of. So our thing with our young children is to give them a variety of opportunities to play. And those students with special needs especially, because that's a challenge to them. All right, the need to teach these skills for students can make a difference in their independence. For our students with disabilities. You know, you think about it, if you can keep the range of motion to be able to slip on a jacket and all that, that's a sense of individuality that we need to teach our students, okay? All right, so let's go out. I got some warm-up activities that we're going to play now. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to play a game called Builders and Bulldozers. Okay, and the way that works is we're going to use a tennis ball and a tennis can. So when I say Raider, I want you to go toe-to-toe with a partner. Ready? Raider. Jennifer, you can just jump in with her. Jenny, you can jump in with them. All right. Now, the tall partner, raise your hand, please. All right. You may come get a tennis ball, tall partner. Other partner, come get a tennis can. Come get a tennis can. Go ahead and set that tennis can down on the ground, just anywhere. Popcorn fashion or scattered is the best way. So Sonny, if you want to just put yours down right there, that'd be great. Super. All right, now hold the ball against your stomach. Now one thing, you guys are, a lot of y'all have experience. One thing that drives me insane is when you're trying to talk to a kid and they're dribbling it. Because when that happens, the person dribbling the ball is not paying attention. The person next to him cannot hear you, all right? And then you got 3 or 4 of them and it just drowns you out, especially in some of the gyms that we have. So what we're going to do with this game is we're going to bowl. So if Brandy and I are partners, Brandy's going to follow me. I'm going to bowl and knock down the can, and she's going to follow me and pick it up and count 1. I'm going to another one and doing the same thing. So we're going to go all throughout the play area and do that so you can hit other people's cans with this game, all right? Now, the ball must leave your hand and go a foot away from the can, okay? So I'm not going to try to bowl for that one all the way from here, but I'm going to do that. But the ball has to release your hands. You remember that higher order thinking that we talked about earlier? This is what happens a lot of times, okay? If the ball doesn't leave my hand, I'm just going right here. All right, technically I'm hitting the ball or the can with the ball, but it has to be a bowl, okay? All right, got it? Ready? Go. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Great. Now, talk to your partner, see how many y'all had knocked down. When I count to 3, I want you to yell that number out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 11. All right, very good. Now, if your heart is beating fast, raise your hand. All right, very good. Now, did I ask you to run? No. This is just another way to camouflage or trick kids into fitness, okay? Because we know we got running Wednesdays at our school, whatever, to get ready for the fitness gram, and the kids go, oh, I hate that. But if we do an activity that gets the same concept across, you know, they don't know that they're exercising the heart the same as running 4 laps around your gym. So this is just another way to camouflage that fitness concept to your students. All right, if you would, put up your ball and your cans, and then give me 5 people in each spot right here facing these hoops. Got 4 spots, 5 people. Facing me. You're making a line. There you go, Michelle. Great. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Roger. There'll be a couple of your groups that have 6, so that's fine. All right. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a game called Beanbag Count. Again, trying to trick kids into fitness a little bit. So the way this is going to work is I'm tossing my beanbag. It lands in there. I get 1. I'm running down on the right side. When I get here, Michelle is going to throw her beanbag, and then I throw it back to Nick because I'm coming back up on the left side. It works like a conveyor belt, going down on the right, coming back on the left. And I tell Nick, 1, did you make yours? And then so we're communicating our score, all right? So if it lands inside, you count it as 1 point. If it doesn't, if it bounces out, then you don't count it, okay? You got it? Let's see. Ready? Go. Down on the right, back on the left. There you go, Brandy. Nice. Good job, good job. That's it. That's the way to communicate. Nice. Oh. 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. All right, ask your team how many you had. All right, so when I count to 3, call that out. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You notice when I'm doing that, I'm not against competition, but with our young kids, so many times they get focused on the competitive side that the skill goes away. I mean, that's what research tells us. If we're teaching a new skill and then we throw them right into a game, they're going to go back to their old primitive way of doing things. You know, when we teach the basketball units to our 2nd and 3rd graders and they're used to shooting like this, and we spend a whole week teaching them how to shoot with their hand behind the bat, you know, ball and all that, and then we put them in a game, you know, they get half court and they just launch it like a granny shot. And so we want to just not emphasize that at first. You know, there's always a place for competition, but that's just one way to reduce it. Our team knows that we outscored this one, okay? It's kind of like going to those little leagues that they don't keep any score, right? You know, the parents know, right? Once the kid gets in and says, you know, you guys got wore out by 25 by that team, you know, so everyone kind of knows, but we don't want to put the emphasis on that. Okay, and you notice a lot of the games that we've already played, we've only played for a couple of minutes. Now, that's generally how I run my gym a lot of times, is I will only play a game 3 to 5 minutes and I'll switch the activity. Because one thing that happens is you want to keep the kids hungry. If you play one great activity the whole time, it becomes old to them. So what I want to do is keep them hungry for that. It's kind of like sitting down with a package of Oreos, right? 2 or 3 are kind of nice. But man, you sit and eat a whole packet, man, you don't feel so good afterwards. And the same is true with PE. We keep them hungry for that little snack, that little bite. Then they'll behave better, and we can move to something else and say, hey, if you do a good job of listening to me for this activity, when we have 5 minutes at the end of period, we'll go back to your favorite activity. And that's just another way to catch them and reward them for their good behavior. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a game called Partner Golf Scramble. Okay, Partner Golf Scramble. And the way that's going to work, if Andrea and I are partners, we're going to say, I'm going to go for that far green spot. So I'm going to toss my Frisbee, and we're going to skip together, or whatever motor skill that you're doing. And right now we're going to do skip, okay? So come on, Andrea, we're going to skip together. So Andrea now gets to throw, because it's a scramble, okay? Just like in golf, you can use alternating shots of your partner, so you can go ahead and throw right there. No, yeah. Okay, good. So we got close enough, so it took us 2 times to do there. Now she'll get to tee off, and she'll choose either the hula hoop or another spot. So, okay. Oh, wow, almost a hole in one. Now we'll skip together all the way over. And then we'll go right here. Now I get to tee up and choose something. Now be careful. I got plastic ones and I got foam ones. Try to get all the foam ones. So your partner with the brightest shirt, come get a Frisbee, please. Oh, excellent. Okay, so I got spots all scattered. It could be these yellow ones. It could be the square one. It could be the hoops. So when I say Raider, go ahead and start tossing and skipping. Ready? Raider. That was a pretty good throw. Nice try. Oh, that's a good try. All right, 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, great. Now, if you would, go ahead and put up the Frisbee, and the partner putting up the Frisbee, grab a tennis ball. The partner putting up the Frisbee, grab a tennis ball. Now, what we're going to play next is spot ball. So if Roger and I, come on up a little bit, Coach, and we're going to stand about 6 to 8 feet from each side, and we're going to try to bounce the ball on the spot and hit our partner in the chest, okay? So this is called spot ball. Go ahead, Coach. All right. So do that. Excellent. So we'll just do that. Now, our younger kids may want to go closer, okay? Or we may want to use utility balls with this, but for our purposes today, we're going to use this tennis ball. So I tell you what, let's just start off at about 4 to 5 feet away with your partner and find you a spot to stand over. Oh, good. Good. 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Nicely done.